Hey everyone, and welcome back to AGT Time. We are in quarterfinals one. Cody Patterson here,
along with Jay Bock. And boy, it was a fun episode. Before we get to that, I've got some other things I want to talk about. But it's fun to be up to the live shows, to see the live audience, to see sort of what all these previous 8 auditions have been leading up to.
Yeah, eight auditions, no judge cuts. We got like 30 seconds of deliberations, and now all of a sudden we're live.
And we're live.
Yeah.
So we have drafted all of the 35 plus wildcard acts into our different teams. Team Cody L. Patterson, Team AGT Commenter, and Team One Man Bander. And we're starting to see how this shakes out and see how we did. I don't know that 1 week is a very good representation of each of our teams. I only had three acts, and I'm going to have, I think, 6 in next week's episode.
Yeah.
So next week might be a make or break for me.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it's not good to have so many in one episode. It's better to kind of space them out, because if you have 6, only 7 are going to go through.
Right. You guys are going to either bury me or I'm going to bury you.
That's right. It's a feast or famine when it comes to something like that, right?
Right. Yeah, so let's kind of get through the introductions here. If you want to reach out to us, we are at AGT Time Pod on Twitter, AGT Time Pod on YouTube, and we're live right now. And we will be going forward on Thursday evenings, sometime shortly after 8 o'clock. And
8 o'clock Central,
9
o'clock
Central,
Eastern,
7 o'clock, 9 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock
yes.
Mountain, 6 o'clock Pacific. For
3 o'clock if you're listening in Hawaii.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you really want to see our faces, that's how you do that. Instagram, all the other things. So
yep.
that is that. But before we get down to the episode, Cody, can I just talk a little bit about my day?
Absolutely. I want to hear about your day.
Today is the first day of the Iowa State Fair, and we traveled up to the state fair this morning, and I got to meet in person, and I've met him before. I'm sure he wouldn't remember me, but I got to shake Bandoloni's hand this afternoon, and he remembered our podcast, of course, and chatting, and I told him that I was still intending to buy him a beer, but it's going to be hard with my kids needing to get to bed sometime. But he finished his last show around 3 o'clock, and I happened to be traveling by his trailer and helped him get loaded up. And then we traveled over to the Iowa Craft Beer Tent, and we had a couple beers together, and got to just sit and chat. And he is just as generous and fun and talented as he's ever been. So I got to fulfill that promise of having a beer with Bandoloni at the craft beer tent.
That's awesome. You were able to get to do that, Jay. I know we've kind of run into some harder times again since last time we talked to him. It's great that you all were able to have the Iowa State Fair, that he was able to travel and participate in that you all got to meet up. That's really, really cool. I wish I could have been there with you guys.
Yeah, that would have only been that much better. So I'm sporting my Iowa State Fair t-shirt today.
Yeah, there you go. Is that a pig with sunglasses on it?
Yep. No need to mull it over, and the pig has a mullet. So that's some Iowa State Fair humor for you.
Are mullets big in Iowa?
Bigger than I'd care for them to be.
Okay, there you go. Okay.
Some of them are quite big. No, I don't think it's an attractive look on anybody, and I think that's why kids choose to pursue that, is because they know it's ugly, and it's counterculture. You gotta rebel.
Yeah, well, like they say, business in the front, party in the back.
Yeah. So no, I had a really pleasant day seeing Bandaloni a couple times and doing that. So shout out to Bandaloni. But also, Cody, I don't know how closely you follow the MLB, but there's kind of a big deal game going on in Iowa tonight.
Yes.
They
if you build it, they will come.
Yes. So they did in fact build the field out in Dyersville, Iowa, and what is it? It's a Major League Baseball game out in Dyersville. It's the first
Yankees and Tigers.
I don't even know who it is.
I think it's Yankees and Tigers.
White
Sox. Yes, Yankees and White Sox. That's it.
So this is all going to tie together in just a second here. Okay. So that game is happening in Iowa tonight, and it's the first major league game in Iowa possibly ever, and it's what it is. It's been kind of a big deal, and these tickets are going for $1,500, $2,000 on the secondary market, and it's not an easy game to get to with their only few thousand fans, but so. All this to say, I'm going to do my podcast review now, and the the podcast that I do not miss an episode. It's my very favorite podcast is Murph and Andy, two local sportscasters who do their radio show in the afternoon every day from 1 to 3, and I listen to that podcast religiously. I enjoy every second of it, and these guys are very level-headed, and it's not just hot takes, and it's not just them fighting with each other. It's them really having good nuanced conversation about things that matter to Iowans. And even when COVID hit and like there's no sports going on, they talk about they kind of sat down and had a lunch together and were like, so what are we going to do with our radio show? And it turns out they had no lack of things to talk about. They just constantly kept the airways full and of really good, useful, interesting conversation. But they have a sister podcast to their daily radio show, which is the Sports Movie Pod. And if you enjoy sports movies, if you enjoy talking about sports movies, the stories that these sports movies are based on, what's factual, what has been cranked up for the movie storytelling purposes, Sports Movie Pod is a good one to listen to, and it's them watching these movies. So they watched and reviewed The Field of Dreams probably a year ago or more, and today on their podcast they replayed that Sports Movie Pod episode for the airways. So those are sort of two podcast reviews in one. If you're an Iowan, I can't recommend Murph and Andy enough. If you're not an Iowan, I still think it's probably worth your time. Like, I just love the heck out of it. And then
do they stream their radio station, their radio show?
They stream it, and you can also podcast it after it's aired. That's Murph and Andy. And then Sports Movie Pod, if you like sports movies, it's a really fun podcast with really fun personalities. So that's all that to say. Should we talk some AGT time?
Yeah, let's talk some AGT time.
Okay.
Because it's quarterfinals. No more auditions.
Okay. I gave my reviews of a podcast. I will be overt and say go review our podcast, please.
Yeah.
That's why I do that. Okay.
Yeah.
So first act of the night was off of Team J. I drafted them. I had them drafted onto my team. The Canine Stars, who they came up this afternoon when I was talking with Bandaloni, called them friends of his, the Canine Stars. So I'm gonna be maybe a little bit more gentle than I would have been.
Yeah, I think in like the NFL draft, the last person that was drafted, I think they call him Mr. Irrelevant.
Okay, well,
so this would be the Mr. Irrelevant equivalent.
Yeah, this is Mr. Irrelevant. This is the Canine Stars.
Yeah.
They did the same judges, dogs as judges shtick. The dogs did some pretty pedestrian tricks that we've kind of seen before.
They didn't even do them well.
It wasn't great.
No.
There was frisbees dropped, and there was whatever. They were having a good time,
Yes.
and it looks like the dogs are really enjoying themselves and living their best lives. So I can't fault them for that. I do not believe that this is it's not as good as Olate dogs.
Yeah. No, it's great that these are rescue dogs. These people have rescued them. The owners are actually the trainers in the show. I do like all of that. But the tricks themselves are not great. They repeated the same trick that they did. I'm not even, and you even asked initially, was it a trick? Like they're at the judges table and they were actually like playing poker this time because they're supposed to be in Vegas, and a bunch of bad poker puns and
really bad,
really bad poker puns, and the scripted voices from the judges. I guess I'm hoping that this was all scripted, voiceover that the judges did, that they didn't pull this from other stuff, but. You can't repeat this type thing. If this is the one thing that they do, it's like half the act, and it's not. I think I enjoyed it a little bit the first time just because it was like unique. We never seen it, but you can't do it a second time. And then the tricks that the dogs did, yeah, you're right. Dropped frisbees, the little I don't know, twirly thing that the one person did around the dog. It wasn't good. It wasn't fun.
Yeah. So not very high marks from us. Howie said, I do believe you stepped it up. Heidi said, from dogs to divas in no time, you were so amazing. I loved it. Sophia said, I think it's a great way to open the show. You're amazing. I love the unique dog show, and I'm proud of you making it here. Simon said, when you come from the auditions and you have to step it up, I thought the first audition was great. This was better. So that's higher praise from the judges than I think they deserve.
Than what we're giving them. But my other big issue with this is previous dog acts, Sarah and Hero, and somewhat the Olate dogs. We got like a connection with the dogs themselves. We knew who the dogs were. We knew who the people were. Yeah. Even Alexandria and Cote that we got earlier in the season. We have a familiarity with the dog and the owner, whereas we don't know who these people are. We know the dogs, Howell, Simon Howell, and was it what's the Howie, whatever the Howie one is, but they've given these dogs,
I don't remember.
Yeah, Bow Wowie Mandel. They've given these dogs judge names, but we really don't know who they are, and we don't know who the people are, so we're not getting that connection with them.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't think they landed with me. I'm not sure that they landed with America. So I'm fully expecting them, at this point, not to be voted through to the semifinals, and I'm going to lose my first act off the off my team. But they were barely on my team to begin with.
Yeah. So Jay, this season, do you want to kind of talk about the results as we're going through the act, or do you want to continue to wait until the end to kind of go through the results?
We can talk about them now, and
okay,
not necessarily talk about the results show separately if we don't have to. That's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
So no surprise to anybody, he's eliminated. The dogs are eliminated.
The dogs are eliminated. So we'll kind of talk about who they were up against later on.
Okay. All right. So second act of the night then is young Peter Rosalita. He's on Commenter's draft board. He's going to sing for us Whitney Houston's I Have Nothing. Is this one on the Cody L. Patterson playlist?
I think so. It's Whitney Houston. I've got quite a few Whitney Houston. If you'll kind of banter for a moment, I will double check that.
Yeah. Well, I'll say I'm not particularly familiar with the song, which didn't probably help my enjoyment of his performance. I thought that he looked great. He had a really fantastic shiny little suit on. You can tell that Peter is having a great time. He's a better than not just above average, but like better than above average singer. I'm not sure that this is something I need more of. Like, I don't usually go out of my way to enjoy the kid singers, but you know, he's a pretty good singer in his own right. So that, yeah, Peter Rosalita. Did you pull that up? Did you?
I did, and it looks like I've got it from the Bodyguard album.
Oh, okay. All right.
So I've got it, and of course I Will Always Love You from the Bodyguard album. So
Yes.
go ahead and at me, people, but I don't care.
Do you know Whitney Houston's favorite kind of coordination?
No, I do not.
And it's okay.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, talk about bad puns.
Okay. Oh yeah, I'm the worst of them. Okay. Heidi said, "You're amazing. We were talking about how happy you are when you sing. You make me happy when you sing, and you did Whitney Houston proud." Sophia said, "I still cannot believe that voice is coming out of you. Your command of the stage is breathtaking." Simon said, "It's nerve-wracking when you come on the stage. You're 10 years old and you're gutsy. In my opinion, you're going to sail through the next round." Howie said, "All my cohorts told you you were great and adorable, and I love you." So pretty high praise from the judges. I'd say that mostly checks out. The only kind of critique he got was from Simon. He said, "Choose a song that doesn't feel like your mom chose it," which
actually your mom makes your mom,
yeah.
Your mom chose it. Yes.
Yeah, but all around a really decent act. I would expect him to go through, kind of based on who's voting and him being a capable kid singer. Any thoughts on Peter Rosalita?
Yeah, I really like this. I thought he pretty much nailed it. I liked it. I loved his sparkly suit that he was wearing, the tennis shoes. I thought the tennis shoes really added something. Him being 10 years old, it's something definitely a kid would do, is wear tennis shoes with a suit. I thought he hit every note. He hit the hook at the right time, and he had the power behind it. The backtracking came in, and he just I thought he nailed it. I thought he did a great job.
Yeah. All around really pleasant stuff. And he is in fact going to sail through to the next round. So Simon was right.
Yeah. And he was, and I messaged a commenter about this, that he was in a group where both of them went through.
Yes. And we like it when you're both going through, right? They throw you a loop a little bit.
Yep. So Simon mentioned, sing something that's a little bit younger. What does Simon want him to sing? Disney songs?
No, he wants One Direction, or maybe who sings Because I'm Happy?
I don't know, but Jackson 5?
No, not Jackson 5.
No. I'm just saying, should he sing like
Pharrell.
a Jackson 5? Oh, Pharrell. Okay, yeah.
Like something from the 2010s and 2020s. Like not.
Oh, okay. I was thinking something more. I was thinking something more his age. That's what I was thinking. He was.
No, I think he would just want something newer.
Oh, okay.
That's what I think.
Okay, more recent.
Yes.
Okay, I get it. Okay.
Not Disney songs. Just we have enough people singing Disney songs already.
Yeah, he could team up with Vagacy. What Tori?
With Tori Vagacy. There you go. Maybe a whole new world. I'm not sure. Okay. Third act of the night. Then let's talk about Beyond Belief Dance Company. They're going to come out in their like schoolgirl outfits. I guess a few different varieties of a school outfit.
They look like they fit right into Clueless.
Yeah, that's fine enough. Like, what am I supposed to say about Beyond Belief Dance Company? Like, sometimes, usually, I go into an act saying like, "This is something that I want to enjoy."
Yep.
I'm going to do my darndest to enjoy this. But like, I couldn't even make myself like want to enjoy this. Like, it's just.
I mean, they can dance. They can dance and do acrobatics. They have talent. They do.
But
it's like, it's not enjoyable to watch. But they have talent.
Thank you.
Okay.
Like, of dance groups that we've seen on the show, like
Yeah.
these young ladies are
Yes.
not going to be the strongest or the fastest or the highest or the most powerful or even the most in sync. They have beautiful smiles and they dance well, but I mean, I didn't write down any, like, hey, this was their signature move or this was, something to watch out for. Like, it was just a very much a dance act that happened. So I don't know. Give me more on Beyond Belief before I read judges' comments.
Hey, everything's bigger in Texas.
Okay. All right. So Sophia said, I think you guys are getting better and better. Simon said, your talent is indisputable. I love what you are is interesting and have personality. You've given yourself a shot to get through to the next round and the finals. Howie said, they've always said, don't work with animals or children, but the reason is children are so amazing. That's not true.
That's not true.
That's not the reason.
The last kid, Peter, he was amazing.
Yeah. He might show you up.
Yeah.
Heidi said, this was everything. You are bigger energy, bigger sparkle, bigger hair. You guys were fantastic. So, I mean, pretty high praise from the judges. But I'm not, boy, that's higher praise than I could have found a way to say it.
Yeah. And I think we went into it as well, just not expecting a whole lot. So we were already down on them to begin with. But it just didn't feel, I mean, it was more acrobatics and not dance.
Yeah. You drafted them onto your team.
I did.
So we've got
really
a
low.
Team Jay, a team commenter, and a team Cody here to start the first three acts of the quarterfinals. Peter Rosalita is the only one to write home about. So it's a little unfortunate for you and me.
Yep. Real quick fun fact about the first two acts, Jay. So Canine Stars, Peter were the first two acts to perform in auditions, first two acts to perform in the live shows.
Wow. How about that? Yeah.
Yep.
Interesting.
I don't know. Yeah.
All right.
Is it? But oh well.
Interesting enough.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Let's move on. We've got Madilyn Bailey. She's on Team Commenter. She's going to sing the song Titanium by Sia. Now this is one. Yes.
Isn't that a Dave Guetta song?
Well, I had it by Sia, but
okay.
I think I got that from the AGT wiki.
Okay. Well, if the AGT wiki put it, then it's official.
It's official. So I'm going to guess this one is not on the Cody Patterson playlist.
No, I didn't even know this song existed till Tuesday night. So,
all right. Well, I wouldn't know Sia existed if it weren't for her showing up on in the so every once in a while she'll show up in Survivor during the
really?
Yeah, during the results, their reunion episode, and
she's like a big Survivor fan.
She is, yes.
Oh, okay.
And sometimes if she has a particularly favorite contestant, she'll just gift them some dollars. So that's a Sia thing.
Does she show up and like when someone gets booted off the island, does she go, "See ya"?
I wish. Oh man, the dad jokes are rolling tonight. Okay, Sia's Titanium. She's gonna sing it. My notes on this say, you're probably best sticking with a comedy song with something that you wrote, something a little bit more engaging, memorable for us.
Yeah, that seemed to be the consensus out of Tuesday night was you wowed us with an original comedy song. Please come back with the original comedy song.
Yeah, but like she's also a really capable singer.
She is.
It's just that's not why we wanted to see her.
Right.
I like her. I didn't like this edition as much as her performance.
Yeah, I don't know if she's trying to be a legitimate singer. I mean, her YouTube channel is filled with covers. I mean, she can sing covers.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But she auditioned an original comedy song. And so that's what we really want to see now.
Yeah.
And after, real quick, after she barely made it through, she tweeted out original song noted. So
yeah, but so her original song is the lyrics to all the nasty comments that she's gotten online. Your voice is terrible, whatever, and she just strung them all into one long, whatever. It's meme tweets.
Yep.
And this song Titanium is kind of it's that same message, like your words won't hurt me, I'm titanium, right?
Okay.
So there's some connective tissue there between the two songs, but
okay, I can see that,
but that's not what we were looking for.
No.
Is my critique on that. Simon said, absolutely brilliant. This is the best thing you could have done for all the doubters out there. You sounded like a record. You controlled the vocal. I absolutely loved it.
I mean, it was a great song. It's just not what we wanted.
Yeah. Howie said, I don't disagree, but I personally respond more to the quirkiness of the internet. And when you were doing the meme tweets, that makes you stand out. Right?
Yep.
That's what made her stand out.
Yeah, because if you're just doing covers, you're just blending in with the other singers.
Yep. Heidi said, you look beautiful and you look pretty. I also think you got here because of your interesting writing. I was surprised to hear you sing a cover. I expected something of your own.
Yeah.
So Simon, and Simon's made a fortune, a couple of fortunes on being able to spot talent, and he was very, very high on this. Mm-hmm. So I'm glad that she's going to make it through. But boy, I'm excited to see what she comes back with now, having this confirmed that she understands that there was maybe something that she could have done different.
Yeah, I think she got a wake up call from this a little bit, and I think Simon's also off his judge game because he said Beyond Belief was good enough to go to the finals.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about our next act of the night.
Well, real quick, for results, she was put in the live save.
Yeah, she was in the middle three, where one of them is going to get not Duncan saved, but
everyone thought it would be like the Sonic save. Yeah, everyone thought it would be the Sonic save, but they didn't have a sponsor for it. It was just the weird live save, whatever.
Yeah. So she's not going to get the live save. She's going to be in the bottom two of those three. Yeah, against Beyond Belief, and we're going to have to split the judge's decision 2-2, with two of them saying Beyond Belief Dance Company should go through, and two of them saying Madilyn Bailey should go through. And so it's going to ultimately come down to America's vote, and it was in fact Madilyn Bailey.
I was literally screaming at my television when the judges were doing this vote, because Heidi and Sophia went with Beyond Belief, and if it was just one more vote for Beyond Belief, they would have gone on and she would have gone home. Yeah. And I was that
would have been an upset.
It would have been a huge upset, and I just cannot believe that it was even happening.
Yeah. So you didn't get that point with Beyond Belief. Commenter did get the point for Madilyn Bailey going through.
Yeah, that kind of turned the tide a little bit, because we would have ended up 3-3 if Beyond Belief had gone through, whereas it ended up 4-2. So
yeah. Okay. We've got another Team Cody act as our next act. It's Kabir Singh, our comedian. He is saying that his mom has learned how to text. And she texted to him, "Oh my God, the remote is not working. I think it's broken. Oh, never mind. I fixed it." Which, that's kind of funny, right? And he does plenty of jokes about his mother's inability to work with technology. Talks about bargaining and the Indian culture around bargaining, and they will bargain anything and everything. Which is why you never see Indians on Deal or No Deal, which is a really good tie-in to
yes.
The current judge panel.
Yeah.
Talks a little bit about how Siri is a racist and he doesn't understand what doesn't understand the Indian accent or the Indian words, when it says to, text my cousin, and then he says his cousin's name and it doesn't know what he's talking about. And he says, how could you be racist towards Indians? We made you. So some pretty good comedy from Kabir. I'm sure I don't even know why I try to retell comedians' jokes. They I can't possibly land. But I guess ultimately, if you're not watching the episode or if you missed the episode and this is how you get it, I want you to understand what kind of material it was. So there you go.
I will say real quick, Jay, that I have a couple of friends that only listen to the podcast, and this is how they absorb their AGT. So your descriptions of the acts, they really enjoy, because that's how they get their AGT.
I've gotten similar praise from a couple people here. So, I will continue to do my part to describe the acts well. But apologies, for all past and all future comedians that I can't I can't just redo their set. Okay. Kabir Singh, he's on your team. How did you feel about this? Did you like this one?
I really, really like this. I also really like the package. I thought he and his mom are just adorable together. They are the cutest thing. But yeah, I think I think Josh Blue's good, but I think he is the funniest of the three comedians that are in the show, between him and Josh Blue and Gina. Those are our three comedians, right?
Do I have Josh on my team?
You do not. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yeah, you have Josh.
Yep. Yeah, I think I ended up with Josh and Gina. So
So you have two of the three comedians. But I personally think that Kabir's the funniest of the three.
Okay. All right. Judge's comments, how he said, you are so authentic and real and relatable, and your mother, I and your mother are so proud of you. Heidi said, you're relatable. It made me think of my family and it made me laugh. Sophia said, I had the best time. I think you're getting better, and I think America is going to love you. Simon said, you are likable. The audience loved you. So maybe not the highest praise, relatable, likable. I had the best time. You're authentic. You're real, which I think, is a lot of times what they want from a comedian, somebody who's likable and relatable and real. He took a book from the comedians on America's Got Talent handbook, a page from the book, and said, he was using all those last moments to make jokes.
That's what you do. You get
on the screen.
You get as much screen time as you can. That's the Ryan Niemiller rule of comedy for AGT. Yep. But he was also in our live save.
Yes.
So
those three acts right there, Beyond Belief Dance Company, Madilyn Bailey, and Kabir Singh were the three acts in the save, and they performed back to back there. Were you, so of those three, who did you expect to get the live save?
I figured Kabir would just run away with it. So my prediction was Kabir would win the America's Vote in the live save, and then it would go to Beyond Belief and Madilyn, and then the judges should have picked Madilyn 3-0, which didn't happen.
4-0,
but well, you only needed three votes to go through. So there should not have even been one vote for Beyond Belief, but that didn't happen. So that was kind of my prediction for what would happen in the live save. And what I understand, I didn't see the percentages, but from what I saw on Twitter, Kabir ran away with it.
I kind of expected Madilyn to win the live save. Maybe she could, activate her YouTube base. Maybe she could, and I thought that her body of work was maybe worth it, to see her kind of go through. But Kabir clearly, he had the, what do I want to say? The the votes to go through, right?
Yeah.
So Kabir took it. I expected Madilyn to, but Kabir did. And then I expected Kabir to be voted through by the judges over Beyond Belief. So
Yep.
Still the right two made it through. Just
yeah,
I
was sweating it there for a bit.
It
I was sweating it.
Okay, so let's move on then. Another commenter performer here, Dustin Tavella. He is the magician who his first performance was all about adopting his son. He's going to have Howie come to the stage and do what I think is a pretty good card trick. He has a deck of cards and he throws them into a box. It's a clear plastic box, and Howie mixes them up and dumps them on the table. And then Kabir spreads them out, and with a book that he has on the stage with him, like a picture book, he shows that there's going to be 21 of the 52 cards are face up, and 10 of the cards are going to be black, and 8 of them will be clubs, and all of the red cards will be hearts, except for the 10 of diamonds, which under everybody's seat is a sign that says except for the 10 of diamonds. I thought this was a pretty good trick. The emotional aspect of it, he hits that out of the park. And
he definitely brings his family into it again, which is good. We find out that they adopted their son's older brother,
biological brother. Yeah.
Yes.
And so those numbers that were in the book, the 21 cards face up, the 10 black cards, 8 of them clubs, happens to be the date that this aired, right? 8/10/21 is sort of the significance of those numbers. So he did a pretty good little show there. What do I want to say? I fear that he's leaning a little bit too hard on the feels.
Uh-huh.
But it's gotten him this far.
Yeah.
So, keep, if the shoe fits, man.
Yeah. I mean, we ranked him 3rd in our power rankings overall. So
not too bad.
No.
It's, I don't know. This wasn't maybe the most difficult night of acts, right? This is maybe the one that you'd like to be in.
maybe so. I did like the picture book. I thought that was a really cool thing to introduce.
Yeah. I thought all around a really nice trick.
Yeah.
I do think I know how he did it.
Okay.
Which I don't. Do you want me to spoil it?
No, we don't. We don't spoil magic tricks.
Okay. All right. I'm not going to spoil it.
No, we only spoil it when guys come on as actors. That we only spoil that. We don't spoil magic tricks.
Okay. All right. Well, I will say then I think I know how he did it.
Okay.
That doesn't make it better.
Okay.
Heidi said, first of all, your kids have the coolest dad. How on earth did you do that? You let us in on your story. You made me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Sophia said, you have your own kind of magic and story makes it different. You're the right place for someone. You're in the right place. You are supposed to be here. Simon said, you tell a story every time you do your magic. That's why people are going to be talking about you, and you have a real shot at the finals. So I'd say pretty high praise from the judges. No comments from Howie on that one, but overall, I thought a really decent performance. I'm expecting him to go through after that performance, I would say.
I think he did. Yep.
And he did. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Anything else on them?
Nope.
Okay. Let's talk about One Accord. This is another commenter act. They're going to.
He was all over the place Tuesday night. He had 7. He had 7 acts that night.
He had a bunch. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, no surprise that he has the most points going into into the next episode. But
yeah, sorry, he didn't have 7. He had 5.
5.
My bad. He had 5. Yeah.
He lost 1. You and I both lost 2.
Yeah.
But I also lost Mr. Irrelevant, so I'm not going to feel too bad about it.
Yeah.
Okay. One Accord. They're going to sing REM's "Everybody Hurts." Now, this is one that I don't know if it's on your playlist or not. I feel like REM is the right era, but I'm
Okay.
not sure if it's the right genre for the Cody Patterson playlist.
Yep.
I'm going to go with yes, it is on the playlist.
So I have, of course, Losing My Religion.
Okay.
Yep. And I have It's the End of the World as We Know It.
Of course.
But somehow this one slipped through. So
Oh,
yeah, this is a popular song. It was big. But yeah, somehow this one slipped through the cracks. It may get, in fact, it's getting added.
oh, there you go.
Yeah, it's getting added.
So I was wrong when I said that it wasn't on the playlist, but it is in fact on your playlist.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, man, they kind of nail it, right? This is three guys. They have not been performing together long, but they are three really, really talented singers. They really like crank up the soul on the song. They do a lot of like vocal runs, and if I'm gonna like get nitpicky about it, I'd say like maybe there's a little bit too much vocal runs. Like they're a little bit too good for me to keep up with what they're doing.
Okay.
But overall, I thought it was a really engaging, fun,
Yep.
impressive vocal performance.
Yeah, the harmonies are incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can tell that these guys, like, the music just like lives inside of them, and they just have to let it out. And
Yep.
you know, they play off of each other so well. It's just a really, really solid group. Sophia said it's a combination of rock stars and gospel singers. It's a combination, and it's spectacular. Simon said, well, I think this has been the best performance of the night so far. You guys are just magic. Your harmonies to leads, everything. Heidi said, you guys created a lane that doesn't really exist right now. Contemporary gospel. Heidi said, I can tell you guys are church boys because it's heavenly. So I'd say that's pretty high praise from the judges. I'm fully expecting them to go through. They were number one for all three of us on our power rankings. And then they do in fact go through. So no surprises there.
I was looking to see. Okay, yeah, we haven't talked about them yet. So yeah, they did go through, and I think we're going to talk about the group they went up against here in a minute.
No, that was wasn't it Peter Rosalita?
No, they didn't go up against Peter Rosalita.
Oh, you're right.
Yep.
That was Jimmie Herrod.
Yep.
Okay, so when they went through, it was One Accord and Gangstagrass. Oh,
yes.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna have to get there. Okay. All right. Before we do, should we talk some Gina Brillon?
Yes, this is the other comedian that you have.
Yes. This is the New York raised Latina. She's born and raised in the South Bronx, she tells us during her set. And she talks about how she's jealous of these girls with their thick Rosie Perez accents. Until
you familiar with Rosie Perez?
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay. You need to. Okay, go ahead. Keep talking.
Okay. Well, she says that she grows up jealous with these thick girls with these thick Rosie Perez Puerto Rican accents until she realized that at some point they got to get a grown-up person job, and she's sort of mimics them. But he did it, ya Anna. Talks about her culture that she grows up in, and we tease people because we love, but we're also brutal. Your deepest insecurity becomes your nickname. And she tells us that her nickname as a child was Pork Chop. Talks about dating a skinny guy, and at some point he's going to look at you like, I'm going to pick you up, and you're going to she says you're going to have to stop him, and you're going to hurt yourself and my feelings all in one move, and instead you're going to pick him up. And that's kind of her set. So I thought it was pretty good material. I think that she's very, very likable. I think that the material is family friendly, and it's not crass. And I really appreciate when comedians can be funny and not crass at the same time.
Yeah.
And she, I think, nails that really well. What'd you think? What'd you think of Gina Brillon's or performance?
Yeah, I really like her. I thought she looked great. She hit the Rosie Perez accent and attitude very well. So Rosie Perez, probably I know her more from do you know White Men Can't Jump?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so she's in that. She was also in It Could Happen to You with Nick Cage.
I don't think I saw that one.
Yeah, so she was really big in the early 90s. She's done some stuff recently, but she's definitely got that like New York Latina attitude and sass, and she really plays it up. She's also in The Flight Attendant, which with it's a Apple TV, no, HBO Max TV series.
Okay.
It's got Kaylee Cuoco,
Oh,
Penny from The Big
yeah.
Bang Theory. Yeah, it's a really good series. So she's also in that. Um, so yeah, just some things to add to your
All right.
watch list.
Yeah, I'm not sure who exactly she is, but I do know that caricature,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yeah.
It checks out.
Yeah. So I,
Um,
I I thought Gina really played into that very, very well.
yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, did you think she did better, worse than Kabir?
Oh, and I've said Kabir. I think Kabir's the best comedian. And also, just a reminder, I have the wild card, and in there is a comedian as well.
Yep.
So I don't expect him to come out of the wild card, but it's very possible I could get another comedian in the wild card. But I still think Kabir's the best comedian left in the show.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'd love to see Gina do well. She is going to go through to the next round. Uh, right? Yes, she is.
She is, and she went up against
Sethward and Canine Stars.
Sethward and Canine Stars. That's what it was. Yep.
And yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. But
Yeah.
I really enjoyed her. I expected her to go through after
Yep.
that performance, and what we'd seen up to this point so far. So I'm feeling good about Gina.
Yeah. We had her ranked 7th. So overall. So it's right on the border of, going through.
Yeah, yeah, she did better than maybe we expected, because
Yep.
she wasn't in those three. So, all right, let's talk about the next act of the night then. Gangstagrass. They're going to sing an original song, All for One. And they do what they do, right? They've got their
Yep.
rappers, they've got their bluegrass, they got their fiddle, they got their banjo. Like it's it's a really unique sound. I
Yep.
really enjoy it. Howie thinks that he should really enjoy it, and he says the idea is better than the actual music.
Yeah. And I'm on kind of the same page as Howie.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, this
Oh,
is this is an act that I want to enjoy. I like the concept. I like the idea. I think it's great that they're bringing these different styles in and really making it work. But I talked in auditions. Don't sing an original. Don't. These are the guys I don't want to sing an original because it's too much. You're bringing in a new type of music, but you're also bringing in new new music, new songs that we aren't familiar with. And I think if they had taken a well-known song and made it
and Gangstagrassed it.
blue, yeah, and gangstagrassed it. Thank you. That's the proper term to use. Then I think it'd be more enjoyable. But they didn't. And during their entire performance, I was like, this has got to be like a cover. And I kept looking up the lyrics and not finding things like titles that were close to it, but I really couldn't find like, but it's got to be a cover. It's surely they wouldn't do another original, but they did.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing that's knocking a few notches for me is that I want them to do covers to help me transition into their new type of music.
Yeah, and it'd be interesting to see what they could have done with a cover.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unfortunately, we didn't get to. I'll have to look them up and see if they do have covers, on YouTube or anything that
Okay.
um, it might be hanging out there. But
Yeah, because I think they could take some well-known bluegrass or country songs and also add in some hip hop and some
yeah,
rap.
or some
I think
hip
it'd be
hop
fine.
songs and add in some
Yes,
bluegrass. I think that
that's
would be
right. I
great
think
too. Like,
that's right. Yep.
or just some classic rock and blue and grass it up, or
Yep.
gangsta and grass it up. Yeah, there's just endless potential with these guys, and I'm not sure, it just didn't hit.
Yep.
Didn't hit with a lot of people. I so badly wanted them to do better. They unfortunately are going to be eliminated in the results show. So
Your
yeah,
number two pick, Jay.
I
Your number two
know.
pick.
That hurts, man.
Now you got Gina, who was your third from last, went through, but your number two, so you kind of traded off there.
Yeah, all right. It's not a bad
Yeah.
result ultimately.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was cheering hard for these guys. I
Yeah.
think that the talent is there. I think that
Yep.
the idea is there.
Yep.
For some reason it didn't hit. Howie said that the idea is better than the actual music. Heidi said, I disagree. I thought it was a lot of fun. Sophia said it was amazing. I think you guys are unique. You are in the right place. And Simon said, I really liked everybody tonight. One Accord had a moment, but this didn't have that same moment. The song wasn't good enough. So again, kind of song choice was maybe what buried them. So that's Gangstagrass. Anything else on them?
Real quick. So they went up against.
That was the group of.
No, yes, that was the group of.
It was One Accord and Gangstagrass.
Yeah.
And One Accord we all felt like was going to go through, and I was really hoping for it's both of you.
Yeah, we didn't get that this time.
We didn't.
I really want to like them. I really, really, really do.
Yeah,
I may need to check out their catalog and just see what's going on there.
And you volunteer at the Grand Young Opry or whatever it is.
Yeah, I do some volunteer work at our local bluegrass music venue.
You volunteer at your local bluegrass venue,
and that's what I'm saying. I want to like these guys, but I need some help transitioning into this new type of music. You can't just like throw me into it with new genre and new original songs.
All right. All right. Let's move on. Let's talk about Sethward. This is one that you drafted onto your board.
I took a flyer. I took a chance.
You took a flyer. So
I literally took a flyer.
Here he comes on stage. He's got his peacock outfit on again this time, but this time instead of the tail sort of closed and dragging behind him like a peacock stud, it is all in its full fanned out.
Yes,
beauty.
It was very NBC peacock.
Holy cow! Like
they couldn't even get the doors open wide enough.
Well, it's Sethward is a comedian, and it's all about the too much, too big, too loud, too annoying, and if his peacock tail can be annoying, gosh darn it, it's gonna be. But one thing that I think is underappreciated, that's a heck of a costume design.
Yes.
All of his costumes are really they're not an easy thing to design.
Yeah.
So as a costume designer, Sethward, B+, easy.
Could he quick change in that? Oh, I guess he did quick change in that outfit, didn't he?
Yeah. So he drops the tail, and he's gonna tell us that he's gonna fly, and he climbs to the top of the steps, and the pyrotechnics go off, and he's supposed to, I think, catch fire, but never does catch fire, and he falls down the stairs, and the medics come out, and there's a fire extinguisher, and they roll the screen out in front of him to whatever aid they're going to offer, and they retreat off the stage, and he's transformed from peacock to phoenix. And so he's not wearing the blue, but he's wearing red. And so he has his big phoenix wings, and he then is lifted into the air, and he squawks, and he is quite the spectacle. So Were you satisfied with Sethward's performance on your team?
I think I may have drafted him too high.
Okay, all right. Maybe a little hot under the collar on that one.
I took a chance. You never know. So I didn't expect him to come back in the peacock outfit.
Well, you did.
Yes. Maybe he was still in it from the first time that he was wearing it.
Might just be.
Yeah.
Judge's comments were not particularly kind. Sophia said, "What's going on, for God's sake?"
We got a buzz. We got a red X.
Yes.
Yes.
Simon did. Howie said, "It's amazing how he's able to make nothing out of so much." Heidi said, "I was laughing, but I'm not sure at what." And Simon said it was absolutely awful. We can now call the show America Does Not Have Talent, which is at least correct English. So,
yes,
good job, Simon.
Yes.
I don't know. Like, I get Sethward. I get this kind of comedy. Like, I'm going to enjoy him when he's on the screen, but this is not a winning act. There's, you're alienating your audience, and that doesn't win. Like, the people who get it, but that's not enough of us.
Yeah. Are you surprised that he was in the live show?
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't expect him to be one of the top 36 acts.
Okay. Do we see Sethward again competing in AGT?
Oh.
Like, as a contestant?
I believe that this is the end of the line for Sethward.
Okay.
I think that they gave him his shot at the lives, and he took it.
They put him in front of America and said, "Okay, America, it's your turn. Let's see what you think." So,
and then let's move on.
Yeah, so, we've done it, Sethward. America has spoken.
America has spoken. All right, let's talk Matt Johnson. He's our escape artist, danger act. He's on Commenter's drafted team. For this performance, he's going to be chained down with chains over his neck, chest, and waist. He's going to use a lockpick to open the 3 padlocks before the chainsaw cuts his face in half. The chainsaw is going to slowly lower as the sand from the bucket falls out of the bucket. As the chainsaw goes down, it's going to saw through these 3-4 different boards. It gets like the sawdust on his face. It's really quite dramatic. It was good. Like, it's scary. Okay. Like, it does make me hold my breath a little bit. What did you think of Matt Johnson's performance before we do judges' comments?
Yeah, so I like a good danger act, but I think he's a little over dramatic.
Okay.
I think he's I think he puts a little too much into it. He did a lot of grunting and screaming this time, which I thought was a little much. I did like that he added the little boards or dowel rods or whatever to show that, hey, this saw is actually sawing through things.
Yep.
Obviously, as we've talked many times before, he's never really in any real danger.
That's again one of the things that I wonder about danger acts is how dangerous are they really?
Okay.
Like, this seemed really dangerous.
Yeah. And now he was getting sawdust in his eyes, and production never thought to put protective eyewear on his face.
Well, that's, I think, the least of their worries.
I mean, production goes through all kinds of things to make sure that their contestants are safe, and he's getting sawdust in his eyes. So you think they'd hey, can you put some goggles on? Just, I mean, the chainsaw is going to cut through your goggles. So
if his face gets sawed in half, we're not going to stop by the optometrist and have him check for sawdust in his eyes first. Like that really is the least of their worries. I don't know. Like it's one of those things that I just have a hard time. Like I almost want to just call him an illusionist and convince myself that this isn't dangerous and this is just the appearance of danger. But there's also the part of it's like he does have an active chainsaw dangling over his face. Like there's no other way to cut it.
Okay, Howie. That was a very Howie joke.
Oh yeah, it was. I'm sorry. Simon said this was very scary. I thought the noises you made were a little over the top, though. Sophia said, "I'm glad you're okay because I'm not okay. It's horrific." Howie said, "If at first you don't succeed at killing yourself, try again." Heidi said, "This does not make me feel warm and fuzzy inside. I didn't know why we keep celebrating you trying to kill yourself." And like, I don't know if I'm just a little sensitive to like suicidal triggers. I really didn't care for Howie and Heidi's comments about, if at first you don't succeed at killing yourself, try again. Out of context, that really rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, just like it has to be within within context. We know that he's not really trying to. We know he's not trying to kill himself.
Right.
I don't think I like this particular performance. I just like it just didn't do anything for me. I like Danger Acts, but this one did not do anything for me.
Yeah. So judges, comments aside, maybe this was just too dangerous, right?
Okay.
Did he push the envelope too far? Is there such a thing as the Danger Acts pushing the envelope too far?
Yeah, I think there can be.
So there you go. That's Matt Johnson. That is going to be the one commenter act that doesn't go through, right?
Yep. And he was up against Dustin Tavella. So I thought that was a pretty good matchup to put the two of them together.
Yeah. So I think America was too scared to see Matt Johnson go through.
Yeah, we had him in the bottom as well. And I think even after the performance, I predicted that he was going to go home. I didn't think it was a good act. I didn't think America would like it.
Okay. All right. So final act of the night then is Jimmie Herrod. This is the golden buzzer from Simon. Was it Simon's golden buzzer?
Yes. No, Sophia's
golden buzzer. Okay.
That makes more sense. Simon picked Nightbird.
Right. Okay. So in his video package, he's going to talk about, he had insecurities about his high voice when he was growing up and singing along with Mariah Carey. But he's kind of learned to lean into it and embrace it. And, he still does today. So he's going to sing Pure Imagination from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. The dude can sing.
Yes, the dude can sing.
His song choices. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, is he doing movie songs now? I mean, is that going to be his thing? Well, his movie songs?
He's 2 for 2.
Yes.
I think the song choices are what, pushes him from like a great singer to a really great singer, right? Like it's the icing on top, right?
Yeah.
He's very good at singing. He's even better at choosing his songs.
Yeah.
This is not one that we've seen on the show before, as far as I can imagine, as far as I remember. And it's interesting and fun and memorable. And like everybody knows the song, but nobody ever like performs it on stage, right? Like, it's fun and memorable. And like, on top of it, like not only are his song choices interesting and memorable, his voice is interesting and memorable. And the dude can sing. Like he's really, really good.
Yeah.
So he's in the right spot. Last act of the night, everybody's going to remember him. Everybody's going to love him. Fully expecting him to skate through. He's the golden buzzer. Sophia said, "You look like a movie star. That was spectacular. You are sexy." Simon said, "You're one of those singers that we don't forget. You are an artist that I see headed straight for Broadway." Heidi said, "You are the $1 million act. Drop the mic. Done. Bravo." Howie said, "I agree with everything they're saying. You are the singer to beat." Is he the singer to beat? Is he the act to beat?
I don't know if he's the act to beat. You all really like Taekwondo. He might be the singer to beat if you kind of look at other singers. I mean, you got Madilyn Bailey, you got Korean Soul. Tonight we had Peter Rosalita. And tonight we had who also just sang One Accord. So
Yeah.
I mean, those are some pretty good singers.
Yeah. He could very well be the best of those three. That's
Okay.
That's hard to say.
Yep.
Sometimes when I'm doing my power rankings, like the most recent act with the biggest feels, I have a hard time putting them as my number one, even though it's the song that I'm whistling and like dancing around the house to. Is like I enjoyed the heck out of it, but it's like, okay, did I only just am I doing that because it's the one that I most recently enjoyed, or am I doing that because it's really the best? And sometimes I will knock a group down a couple points because they were so recent, and I don't want the recency bias. But I think maybe I take too much the recency bias too much into account when I'm power ranking sometimes.
So you intentionally knocked him down to number 2 because he was too recent.
Might be, yes.
Okay. So yeah, we had One Accord as our number 1. We had Jimmie Herrod as number 2. So according to our power rankings, he's not even the best singer.
Well, is One Accord and Jimmie Herrod, like Jimmie Herrod is a singer, One Accord is a singing act.
I guess so. If you want to just go solo singers, then if you're going just solo singers, then he's most likely the best solo singer.
Yep. So yeah, that's I think a really great episode. I enjoyed it. I was feeling really good about Gina Brillon. I was feeling really good about the Gangstagrass that I had drafted on my team. And then Canine Stars, I was not expecting them to go through. And that's I was feeling good going into the results.
Okay. Let me ask you this, Jay, real quick. So we saw the judges were social distanced. They were really spread out. They had a giant judge table.
Giant judge table.
Giant judge table. They were really spread out. Did the atmosphere for a live show, as a live show in general, did the atmosphere feel different to you?
Yeah, I would say that it felt muted.
Yeah.
Like every time we saw the audience, it looked like everybody was fully masked, which I appreciate.
Yes. Yep.
It looked like it was, they weren't 6 feet apart between all the acts, but I don't think that it was that every chair was full. They might have been doing like an every other row or something, and it still looks full from the front, but it might have just reduced the amount of bodies in there. But yeah, there was something that maybe just felt muted. People weren't, and maybe it's just those reaction shots, right? The cameras aren't trained on people in the audience getting those reaction shots, and that might be what makes it feel so different.
Yeah, it didn't feel like it was as flashy as we're used to in a live show. Muted's probably a really good word. It didn't feel as exciting. I mean, obviously it was more exciting than what we got last year. But even just thinking back to, 14 and 13, 12, season 2 and 3, just those types of things. It didn't feel, I recently just did a binge of season 10. And it didn't feel as flashy or as exciting as those types of live shows. It felt really different this year. Now, we had an audience and the judges were all there and Terry was there and all the acts were there, but there was something different about the show.
Yeah. And yeah, I'm not sure that I can put my finger on it more than what I've said. So
yep, that's good.
Should we talk results real quick?
Yeah, just fly through them.
We've kind of talked about who was partnered with who and who went through and who didn't. So we're not going to do that. Any thoughts on the Brandon Leak and the Whip Out Words Youth Poetry Collective poem about Stockton?
No, not a whole lot. I mean, I felt like it was more like it was Brandon Leak in a chorus kind of type thing. I mean, it's important, the things that he's saying, but I don't know. I was kind of doing other things while Brandon Leak was performing. Darcy for some reason felt a little off her game. It didn't feel the Darcy that we're familiar with. She felt way too scripted. It didn't feel, something just didn't feel natural for what she was doing.
All right, I could believe that. I thought Brandon Leak's poem went on, about time and a half longer than it should have. They could have, put a punctuation on that a little bit earlier than it did. But I enjoy the word poetry, the word smithing that they do. Mm-hmm. Darcy Lynn, the girl's growing up, and she's still fantastic. Her technical abilities in the ventriloquism is really second to none. I enjoy the kind of jazzy singing that she does, and her, she's just so great. What was it? Her best performance? Probably not. But
no,
was it Darcy Lynn? Yeah, and that's enough. She's still doing what she does. So, those were sort of the two special performances we got in the Our Results show. When it came down to Beyond Belief and Madilyn Bailey, after Kabir Singh was put through, Heidi and Sophia were the ones that put Beyond Belief through, or voted Beyond Belief. Howie and Simon were the ones that put through Madilyn Bailey, and I was like, boy, that's really close. But America's vote.
I think if Beyond Belief had been voted through by the judges, I probably would have just been done with the show. I'd have been like, Jay, you're on your own now. I mean, because I was literally screaming at the TV like, this is not happening. There's no way that this group can go through over Madilyn Bailey.
Take the point and run, man.
No, I was no. I would gladly give up the point. Now, if it was a different matchup, maybe. But sure. Madilyn and Kabir were so much better than they were.
Okay. All right.
So
do you know, this is like my one question that I have coming off the night then, was the vote that they relied on for which of these two goes through, was it based on the live save vote or the vote from Tuesday night?
Yeah, I don't know this for an absolute fact, but my understanding is that it's for the vote from Tuesday night.
Okay. That would be my guess. And that's probably the one that leaves the most, what do I want to say? Like if something goes wrong, mm-hmm. That's the one that you most want to rely on.
Yeah.
Okay. Should we talk about the acts coming up next week?
Yeah, you have that list.
We'll go through that, and then we'll put a button on this. Commenter has 4 acts next week. He's going to have Aiden Bryant. That's the self-trained aerialist. Johnny Showcase, who he snagged off the board in front of you.
I'm excited to see him.
We've got Korean Soul, the boy band, and then Victory Brinker, the Golden Buzzer. That he also snagged.
That one's a little unknown, just because I didn't enjoy her. I didn't enjoy her when she was on, so it'll be interesting to see if she's improved.
Yeah, she went real low in the draft. I'm kind of hoping that he has good luck with her.
Yeah.
All things said. You've only got 2 acts next week.
I'm going to be loaded in that third one, and I'm going to have the wild card.
Yeah. So you've got Duke Tech crew and Shufflelution, 2 different dance crews.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay. We'll see.
I'm feeling good about my next week. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 acts. So again, it's make it or break it time. I've got Josh Blue, our comedian, trained and trusted, tried and true comedian Josh Blue. So he's clearly going to go through. We got Golden Buzzer, Northwell Earth Choir, who checks all the boxes. So they're going through. We got Peter Antonio. We got Positive Impact Movement. This is the strength training, the strength acrobatics group, right? Acrobatics and throwing weights around. We got T3, the boy band, who three tenors. They and Tori Vagasi both sang the same song in auditions.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Will they do it again?
I doubt it, but that would be something. So T3 and Tori Vagasi, who's the princess impersonator. So
does Tori sing? Yes or no? Does Tori sing a Disney song?
Yes.
Okay.
Does T3? Probably.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do with that. So it should be a great show next week. I'm feeling really good about getting some points on the board here. And anything else to say before we put a bow on this one?
No, I mean we're now the live shows. This is only like 6 weeks now, so like 5 weeks left. 2 more quarterfinals, 2 semifinals, and then a finals. It's like auditions took forever, and then boom, like we're at the end of the season.
Yeah, it really is. That was eight auditions.
Eight auditions. We got no judge cuts, no clip show, no recap show. I mean,
yeah, and then it's 3 of these, 2 semis and a finals, right?
Yes, that's my understanding.
There's six that aren't auditions, and 8 auditions.
8 auditions, yes. Please, AGT, do not do that again. Please, we beg of you, do not do that again.
8 was maybe a little much. But with that, Cody, I will again remind you all to go out and review our podcast, rate, review, subscribe, tell a friend about us, and stay safe.
Yeah, and those of you that I don't think anyone did, but if anyone happened to watch on YouTube, thank you for watching. We will be live here Thursday nights, the rest of the season, 9 Eastern, 8 Central, 7 in Denver, right?
After that.
7 in Denver and 6 in LA. So please tune in, watch us live. And if not, if you can't make it live, check us on your favorite podcaster. Everyone, have a good night.